This is the Wandrd Rogue Sling 6-liter bag, and today we're going to talk about it. I recently picked up this Wandrd bag that's a 6-liter in size because I had a Peak Design 3-liter bag that was pretty great that I used from my A7 IV with my Tamron 20-40. It actually housed that camera setup pretty nicely, but as you know, with full frame cameras, having a little bit bigger lenses, it didn't really fit anything more than just a small setup. So for me, I wanted to get this bag to be able to test it out and see how well it would be to having a bigger setup of a camera with lens combo, to be able to take it around with me when I don't want to bring a big backpack when I'm out and about creating. So this bag is quite nice because it can actually host this camera body with the lens, and I'm able to really securely just kind of have it in here and then close it up smoothly. I actually have right now my phone in there and my wallet, which is kind of nice to be able to have a lot more things when it comes down to personal gear that you want to have, but as well as any necessities that you might need to bring with you. You have a lot of pockets in this bag. You have a little pocket right here where you can actually put your keys if you want to. This is where I put kind of like a little bit of my gear for the camera. You have a nice little under pouch if you want to put your water bottle, even like a tripod kind of thing that you want to bring. You have nice handles and everything with it, which is something that I actually liked. And you have these little kind of, I guess, clamps, if you will, to be able to clamp some other stuff with you. I actually used it to walk my dog one time, but you have this nice space in here to kind of host a bigger body with the lens and still be able to put other stuff in there. You got nice little pockets where you can put whether it's batteries or other stuff like that. And you still have a little back area right here to put more batteries if you need to, or anything else that you might think about. One of the reasons why I actually wanted to get this bag is because I'm going to be going to Europe soon, and there's going to be days I don't want to bring my big camera bag with me, and I want to condense down to be able to have a camera body and a lens here while I have maybe another one holding into my hand as I go on about taking photos and videos. So I have two bodies with two different lenses to cover all bases, but without having to lug everything around where it'd be too heavy. So it's quite nice to be able to get this bag because I want to have my full frame setup, or I have enough of a camera set up for what I would need without having to worry so much about if I have everything that I would want to create. This is one of the main things about the 6-liter that attracted me to it. And I didn't get the 9-liter for now because I didn't really think it'd be ideal since it looks like it would be too big. But if you're listening, Wandrd, maybe you can send it to me to test it out, because for fair disclosure, I paid for this bag with my own money, but it'd be great to showcase this with versus a 9-liter one to see if other people would prefer something bigger, because I've done a video of my 3-liter bag, like I said before, so maybe it'll be the next step. So let's talk a little bit about the boring stuff about this camera, which is the price point. This comes in at $139 USD, which to be honest is quite a great price for a 6-liter Sling bag. I believe their 9-liter bag is about $169. So if you wanted to get something bigger because maybe you don't want to have a camera backpack at all, you might be better off with that. But for me, this has been quite nice with the 6-liter size for the type of gear that I usually bring around with me. But now, enough of the boring stuff. Let's talk a little bit more of how it'll look maybe possibly on you. I am a 6'1", almost in my height, and well, feet and inches, if you wanted to know more about how it would look maybe on you depending on your height. I usually kind of carry it out in front of me, and I think it works pretty nicely when I'm walking. It doesn't feel heavy or anything. It actually kind of feels rather comfortable, especially more than a backpack would, for me at least personally, because you're not having that much gear in here anyway that you would in a backpack. So it's nice to have a little bit of that comfort with the padding that it has all around the bag. It's actually kind of nice because it has padding on the back of it, and as well on the sling part right here where you're kind of lunging it across your shoulder. So it's quite nice because even if I put my gear in here and kind of just decide to go ahead and put it up and say that I'm done shooting for the day and I'm going to walk with it like that, it's still not heavy and it feels quite nice. But yeah, this is a very comfortable bag. Surprisingly, I think it's probably one of the most comfortable bags I've ever owned. And it's not really being biased because, like I said, I paid for it, so I can actually tell you my honest opinion. Could there be a little bit more things? Sure. I mean, you have dividers, which are kind of nice, but it kind of defeats the purpose if you're wanting to have something set up to go ahead and take it out to take photos a lot faster. But this is kind of how I would walk with it and just, be out and about to create, and then just be able to take out my camera, take some photos out here, and then be good to go. Yeah, but with this bag, it's actually quite nice to have. I've been enjoying using Sling bags a lot more lately, due mainly to not wanting to bring too much gear with me. So I've been loving the kind of condensed and simplicity of setting up my camera bag this way. I've been using my ZV-E1 like I'm currently doing for videoing, and having like either my 20-40 by Tamron or the Sony 20-70 that I got recently. And then I use my Sony a7 IV for a lot more photography stuff, which is nice to have it in here so that I'm able to go ahead and create the stuff that I need to and not have to bring too much gear with me. Because lately I feel like simplicity has been a lot nicer to be able to be just more fast and efficient while out creating. So now, who is this bag for? So this camera bag is for you if you want to have a bigger sling bag that can host maybe a full frame setup, or if you shoot APS-C and you have a couple lenses you want to bring with you, it'll have enough space for all of that. For me personally, I really enjoy the size of the 6-liter. I didn't really get to test out this 9-liter, but I've seen other ones personally, and they might have looked a little bit bigger, but the style of this one I really do like because it doesn't feel like there'd be much of a difference from the 6 to the 9 and the aesthetic, which is kind of nice. Which, speaking of the aesthetic, they have different colors. I just went with the burnt orange kind of style because I have too many black bags and I wanted to change it up for myself. So if you like different color kind of style of camera bags, they have a really good selection that I've seen online, which is kind of nice. That's one of the reasons why I went for this one. Personally, I think this will be the perfect camera bag for you if you're wanting to have a good compact type of sling bag for a full frame setup like that. Because for myself, I use a lot of bigger lenses. So if you have bigger lenses, you're gonna want this type of camera bag because you get to actually fit quite a bit. I mean, I have the 35-150, as I've made plenty of videos, is a chunky boy. With a full frame camera, it's also kind of relatively chunky, but if you kind of move it over, you can have a little bit room if you have maybe a smaller compact point and shoot camera, or like how I have a Fuji X-E4, I can fit it nicely in there. I can also bring a lot more for behind the scenes types of shooting, whether it's my GoPro or my Go 3. So if it's a lot of stuff, so if you kind of have a lot to do when it comes down to maybe portrait shoots and you don't want to have to bring a whole backpack, but you want to be fast and efficient, this is a perfect bag size for you probably, because for me personally it is. So it's quite nice. Now, this camera bag is probably not for you if you're wanting to have something smaller, or if you probably need something bigger, which let me dive into both a little bit further. If you want something smaller because you don't want to have something kind of bulky with you, a 3-liter bag will probably be a lot nicer, especially because I've done a video with the Peak Design 3-liter bag, and it worked really nicely to have my a7 IV and Tamron 20-40 for a compact setup for an everyday kind of type of shooting, or especially if you want to do a minimal style with vlogging with one camera and taking photos with it. Maybe bring a behind the scenes camera like the Go 3, but you don't want to have a bigger lens setup that you might want to bring. Also, if you want to have more lenses or something like that, you might be better off with getting the 9-liter. The 6-liter is quite roomy, but I think if you're shooting full frame and have big lenses, it's not going to be enough. What you can do, and this might be a little bit kind of hard, I guess, it would be to take off the lenses off the camera, put them separately and individually with the kind of like dividers that it has, and you might be fine that way. But I tried doing that with my 35-150, and since it's such a big lens anyway, it kind of defeats the purpose of taking it off the camera. Might as well just keep it on camera like this. So maybe the 9-liter would be a little bit better. So if you have big lenses, probably not the camera bag for you. But yeah, that's pretty much all that it comes down to with this bag. If you have any questions or would like more details that I maybe didn't cover that you want to know more about, please leave a comment down below, and I'd be more than happy to provide any information that basically comes down to this bag. I'm happy to showcase a little bit more in details, maybe some other stuff if you like a full-on review, very specific about it. But I just wanted to talk briefly about why I chose this camera bag and how it could be beneficial to you if you're needing to have something bigger, if you shoot full frame like I do. This is one of the reasons why this camera bag is just beneficial to me. So hopefully it'll help you out to clear any ideas of if it'll be the right one for you. And maybe you'll pick this one up too. I'll leave it in the description down below if you want to support the channel with my affiliate links at no extra expense to you. But with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, share this video with a friend. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.